Caleb and Sammy, will you come here real quick?
Yeah.
Come join me
walk.
in our quiet corner.
I guess I can. Yeah, that's fine.
Things are getting weird, friends. You remember that email I got last week?
The prank?
Yeah. Yeah, the prank?
I don't think it was a prank. Like, if it were a prank, then why has a car been following me a lot this week when I've been going on my walks? Like, I'll be walking and cars keep driving up. And then I've noticed that, and I also when I went into the store, people would look at me, and I'd be getting looks and stuff, and I think I may be tracked by a stalker or a syndicate of several stalkers. I think they're coming for me.
Have they been asking your party affiliation?
No, but the look is in their eyes.
But that's an
that
optional thing. It's an optional thing. Yeah, that's optional.
Yeah.
So
that's terrifying.
Okay, hold on. Cordell, if you could pause for 1 second. Hey, Sammy, can I sidebar with you real quick? Actually, can we sidebar from the quiet? Can we go to the quiet corner?
Yeah.
I'll go to the not listening corner.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think Cordell's actually crazy. I don't like, there's no.
I mean, yeah, I was there for the prank. I don't know. I mean, but he's saying people are following him.
Yeah.
He might, I don't know. You're right.
Do you mind if I go to the singing corner from the quiet? And I know normally we have like a progression of corners, but do you mind if I like cut into the?
Yeah, I'll go with Cordell in the not listening corner.
Okay, good. Because, nobody should listen to this singing voice.
Hi, Sammy. Welcome to the not listening corner.
Yeah.
On the second day of Pattimas, my troop, Rob Pattinson gave to me 2 movies, if you think about it in a weird way, because Christopher Nolan does it that way. And what I said last week. Wait, that's for 3. I accidentally did the 3 cadence. Shit. Fuck. God damn it. In any Twilight movie, that's what I said. Shit. Okay. So, 2 movies. If you got anything about it that way, in any Twilight movie, I fucking nailed it.
Hey, Sammy.
Yeah,
do you ever wonder what it would be like to hear what Caleb sings?
I don't know, but we should go in the junk house. Welcome to the junk house corner.
It's a psychobilly freakout.
The worst thing after a great
man. We are really on the ball today.
We're rolling down the hill. Welcome back.
Crushing it. Look at us. Look at us doing it.
I want you to know, this is, listeners, there's a ball and we're fucking on it. Okay, we're fucking on that ball.
We are on it.
Rolling.
Just keep rolling. Yeah.
Welcome back. It's Pattimas.
It's Pattimas, which is a whole month.
Pattimas Everdeen.
We watched.
That's good.
Tenet, which is a good movie. Are we like? How are we feeling about this?
So I have not yet done my star ratings on Letterboxd for it, and so I do want to talk this through before I settle.
Okay.
That's where I am. This was a rewatch for me. I had seen
this my first time.
Should we say? Do you want us to influence you by saying our star rating now, and then we can describe, like we can explain each of ours? I feel like Caleb's and I will be vastly different is the reason I am saying it that way.
So they may not be as different. But
here's
we'll
my
see.
proposition. Yeah, we start with a bit of bum fiddling, like a loose plot explainer for the audience that wants to know. Then we go into initial thoughts and experiences and get organically to the end where you give me your star ratings and I will come up with mine.
Okay. Yeah.
Sweet. So I want to give my crack at a bum fiddle for a movie I've seen for the first time this week.
Do it.
So in Tenet, a CIA agent that we know as the protagonist, he is doing this like big mission at an opera house whenever some weird things go down. One, he gets kidnapped and has to take a cyanide pill. But two, at a moment in the opera house, there's a point where a bullet goes in reverse. What? Weird. And then he wakes up after taking the cyanide pill, and this dude's like, hey, you passed the test. That wasn't real cyanide. You're alive, but now you're dead to the world, and you're going on a super secret mission to do something super important. And the only thing I can tell you is this little symbol that the audience can't hear, and then the word Tenet. And so he goes on his missions using his super awesome CIA skills. At one point, he just joins up with Arpats. He's like, I need a man to get into this big building. And then Arpats is there. And then he never leaves again.
And never should he.
Never should he. But, never should. Like, essentially what he discovers is that a Cold War has been going on. And in this Cold War is not nuclear weapons, though. It is temporal weapons. That there is a technology from the future that is able to reverse the flow of an object's journey through time. And that object travels backwards in time while the rest of the world travels forward. And so these objects are slowly going backwards from the future into the modern day where we are. And these objects interact with the world in very weird and dangerous ways. And there is a concern that they are finding evidence that these objects lead to a catastrophe for humanity down the road that they are trying to prevent.
Yeah, basically where it's like everything is going back in time. Isn't that the idea?
So in the beginning, whenever he first learns about it, they just think everything goes real bad and we're seeing evidence of that and we need to prevent it. The more he digs into it and the more he learns, because we're seeing from his perspective is he's getting into this world, but everybody else, he meets a whole bunch of people involved in Tenet that are all super deadly, super awesome, super powerful. They've all been in this world for a lot longer and know the real stakes, that the more things that get reversed, I can't remember the actual term for it.
Let me look it up real quick.
Because turnstiles are what make you start going in reverse. Whenever they get you into a turnstile, that can flip your polarity and where you're going. What is it called?
Caleb, do you remember?
No, I do not remember.
Inverted.
Inverted.
They're inverted. Yeah.
So
inverted objects, if they collide, if an inverted object encounters the normal object, boom, bad thing, big splody. But also there's concern, like with Oppenheimer, they were scared they were going to light the atmosphere on fire. Their fear with this and what's realistic is that the more things become inverted, the more it messes with the time stream and eventually everything inverts.
Yeah.
And so there's the potential that there is a dedicated end of time where after that moment, time flows back in reverse. Because these people got to a point with the planet that we learned, they got to a point with the planet where they were like, okay, we have no future, which means our future's the past. So we're going backwards.
They're going back to the past, Samurai Jack.
Yeah, so basically, he finds out that this Russian arms dealer is collecting all of the pieces. So the person who found out how to invert broke apart the algorithm to continue inverting stuff and sent it backward through time to be hidden in nuclear arsenals. Because those are the most top secret secure things on the planet, is the codes to those arsenals. So they're hidden in nuclear warheads. They're trying to stop them from being assembled and then prevent all this happening from this Russian arms dealer who's dying and is like, yeah, screw it. I'm taking the world with me. And so, that's the gist of the film.
Yeah.
without
there's a
like
love
spoiling how it
plot,
ends and
Robert
whatnot.
Pattinson is
Yeah, there's the
hot.
relationship plots, there's friendships, there's a lot of really cool sequences of inverted and normal time interacting. Like there's a lot of neat stuff happening in this movie, but it is confusing to watch for the first half. The back half is still confusing, but less confusing because you have more context that you lacked in the first half.
So I have two fun facts about this movie.
Okay.
One, according to Christopher Nolan, the core concepts and even the core plot of this movie, he and his brother had come up with when they were kids.
Awesome.
And this is just
Okay.
something that so this was like something he and his brother wanted to make since they were like, I believe in one interview, he said that somewhere in like the 8 to 13 range, like that kind of like where you're
That's
like your
amazing.
imagination, like it's still really cool, which I think kind of explains why the plot is like, I put this, it's like if Inception is a movie that you can suggest to people that you're like, this is kind of hard to understand, but it's a good movie and it has a lot of complex stuff. It's like less than Inception, but it's still a little bit too complex for me to say to somebody like, you can watch this just casually.
So here's,
Yeah.
I disagree with that, actually.
Oh,
I don't think it's
Oh.
less complex than Inception. And so here's what I'll say. Inception on the surface is more complicated, but is an easier watch. Because no matter how complicated the concepts get, your brain can understand what you're seeing on screen all the time. Whereas Tenet is more difficult to watch. The concept is a little easier to get, but visually understanding what you're seeing on screen is harder, and I think makes it a harder watch. I think it is a more complicated watch because your brain has a difficult time inherently processing what's happening when things are inverted.
I think I have an interesting take because I came into Tenet knowing fully about not fully about the inversion, but knowing about the whole concept being people going back in time, knowing about how they did it, like watching like Corridor Crew on YouTube's their breakdown of it. So like honestly, the movie really wasn't that confusing for me. Like I even when the first time you see somebody going back in time, I was like, damn, they're going back in time. Like it immediately clicked. Like everything was like made sense to me. I'm not saying this movie isn't a confusing movie. Like I said, I'm in the unique position of like, whoa, cool. Okay. So knowing how they did it is like helped with the story and my understanding of the plot. So
Right.
it feels more to me. I agree with Caleb's take that it feels more easily understandable and digestible than the dream stuff that is Inception.
Yeah. And you know, part of this could just be that we've had 13 years to sit with Inception at this point.
Mhm.
Like it was a
Yeah.
2012 movie. We've had
Yeah.
a long time to process and digest Inception, whereas Tenet I saw this week.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like, and
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
definitely
since
think
it came
that-
out in 2020, not a ton of people saw it when it came out.
I think a lot of
did.
people were afraid
So
Yeah,
I
of time.
of time.
so I will say what I did. I went and saw this in theaters, but I want to say I was not like being stupid about it. I needed to get out of the house at that
Caleb's
point in
an
2020.
anti-vaxxer.
Yep. Anyway, no, I did the smart thing.
No.
I, bought my
Right.
tickets in advance so I wouldn't have to interact with anybody. You
Yeah,
know,
you
I
were
had a
doing
friend
it
that went
safely.
and saw it, but we drove separately. We sat, a distance apart, more masks, everything. We were being very careful, but both of us, we had texted each other and we were like, I have to get out of this apartment or I'm going to die.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
it was that level of just like, I need to leave. So we went and saw it when I saw it in theaters, even not really knowing the core concept, I think seeing it in theaters actually did help me understand it more. I think like the larger format benefited it a lot.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so, but here's what I'll say, Cordell. I think this is a 3.5 star for me on Letterboxd, and that's what I gave it. I like it. If somebody's like, hey, do you want to hang out? We're going to do a movie marathon of Christopher Nolan movies. I'll be excited when Tenet comes around. I'll be like, yeah, let's do that. That's going to be a good one. But outside of that context, I'm not going to say like, let's watch Tenet.
Interesting. Okay. I gave it a full 5. I gave it a full 5 stars.
Fair.
I really like the concept. I really like the acting. I really like how they did as much as they could practically.
Mhm.
I think it is visual. When I ended the movie, I gave it 4.5 stars. And then I sat on it for like 20 to 30 minutes and was like, no, just the visual and mastery this movie is, it deserves a 5 stars. At least from me. Like, dude, and just like all of the little reveals they do, the actual guy that's been the leader of this entire operation has been the protagonist the entire time.
Yeah,
it's just
that
him
was
in the
awesome.
future. Robert Pattinson has been best friends with him for probably years. It's just not our version of the protagonist. It's the future version of it's like there's just all of these things that I was just like, that is fucking sick. I think I would, if people are like, hey, let's watch a Christopher Nolan movie, the first one I might suggest might be Tenet now. I really
Interesting.
liked Tenet.
What was it prior to this? If prior to watching Tenet, do you have another one that you would have been like, that would have been my first one?
I do.
I'm realizing I'm stupid because one of my favorite movies of all times is The Prestige. So that's always going to be before
Prestige.
Tenet. But Tenet would be number 2.
I was actually Prestige as well. That movie is so good.
It's
That
so
movie is
fucking
so
good. It's amazing.
I didn't see it until like last year. But
honestly, if you didn't know anything about it before seeing it, that is amazing. That is probably the best position.
Can I tell y'all something?
Oh no.
I've never seen The Prestige.
I thought you were gonna say you didn't like it.
Caleb, no.
If you want to watch it and don't know anything about it,
I will also say this: I know there is some kind of twist. I have actively avoided what the twist is, because I want it to surprise me when I watch it.
Caleb, watch that movie.
You
will love The Prestige, because
we take time out of this month talking about Robert Pattinson just to have Caleb watch The Prestige and have us talk about it.
Full stop. What is it next week? Boy and Heron? Is that it?
The Boy and the Heron.
I believe The Boy and the Heron is next week. Yeah.
Let's do Boy and the Heron and throw in a little Prestige just for Caleb's sake. I will watch that movie this week. I love The Prestige.
If Caleb is okay with it, if you're down with that.
Oh yeah, I'll watch The Prestige.
Yo.
I'll watch The Prestige, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I will also say
it.
Prior to this movie, my favorite Christopher, which I think this will also help maybe understand why Tenet is only 3.5 for me.
Okay.
Prior to this, I would say my favorite Christopher Nolan movie was Oppenheimer. I actively loved that experience. I thought that was one of the best movies I've ever seen.
I really like Oppenheimer too.
Just a really
so
long
good
movie.
I gave that looking at my review. I gave it 5 stars as well. I gave Oppenheimer 5s.
Yeah, and I mean Cordell, it's a long movie. Here's the thing. I love long movies. I haven't watched The Brutalist yet, but man, I'm ready to watch The Brutalist.
So a quick amendment. Inception came out in 2010. Dark Knight Rises was 2012. He took a movie break between all of his Dark Knight stuff. But I would also, if I were doing a Chris Nolan marathon, would force people to separate the Dark Knight trilogy. I would not man, sitting in that grimdark, sitting in that for 3 movies in a row, exhausting. I would break it up. But that's neither here nor there.
You know what's gonna be exhausting? And this is not a transition, I'm sorry.
Oh.
The Odyssey. When Christopher
I'm
Nolan
so
drops the
ready for
Odyssey,
that.
it's gonna be amazing, but it's gonna be like, hey, it's gonna be 5 hours long.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be 5 hours. I was thinking 4 hour minimum. Like,
yeah.
It
has everybody in it.
I genuinely am hoping that if it's done really well, instead of just doing all of the Odyssey in one go, that if this is a surprise Odyssey part 1. That's what I'm hoping.
So here's my prediction. 2 ways this will go. It's either the Odyssey, and they will do a theatrical version that is 3 hours, and a special edition that's 4 to 5.
I'd eat that shit up.
Oh, yeah. Like Lord of the Rings director's cut, like a director's cut Odyssey that adds a full hour and a half content. Incredible. Yes. Be there for it. It will sell DVDs like crazy, and people will go see movies. But I think if they do, it's all one movie, they will do a more average consumer friendly version that is pared down, and then they will have a director's cut release. Or they do the stealth part 1, part 2, but it's in the actual like Greek stories, it's Iliad then Odyssey. So what I really think may happen is he may do Odyssey, and then a little bit later loop back and do Iliad as a prequel, and that could be dope. Because if there's anyone I trust to do a prequel, it is Christopher Nolan, actually.
Honestly, he did a prequel to Oppenheimer and to, I guess, Dunkirk was kind of the ending of World War II, but a prequel to the Battle of Dunkirk? That's crazy.
I really like Dunkirk. I forgot that was Nolan.
I've not seen Dunkirk. Okay. I figure
why haven't we done? Why one of these months has to be Nolan? One of these movie months we do.
But okay.
The problem is we're gonna naturally, organically do all of the Christopher Nolan stuff anyway. That I almost don't want to make him a month, because we're gonna watch Prestige this month just because Caleb needs to see it. We've already watched Tenet. I'm certain we've all seen the Dark Knight trilogy enough. Like
multiple times.
In the future, we're probably gonna keep doing the movie month for a long time. At some point, we can also switch to characters, so we could do like a Batman month.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of the movie month, is we're not beholden to anything.
Right. I like
our own approach. Creativity.
Oh, we'll do a thematic movie month sometime where we pick like a subject that movies have a conversation about, and get different movies with different perspectives on it. That'd
LGBTQ, and we watched that one zombies with the alien.
Yo, okay. My friend's daughter is like 11, and she found out that I had seen the zombies movies.
You know, there's a fourth one coming out.
She was like, "There's a fourth one. It's got vampires," and I was like, "You know what? I'll watch it with you." And so she knocked on our door last night. She knocked on our door, and she was like, "Hey, when are you going to be free to watch the zombies movie with me?" And I was like, "Hey, have your dad text me. Let's look next week." But but she's so hyped up, so I'm gonna go over to their place and watch the zombies 4th movie with them.
Amazing. Please tell us how it is.
Oh, it's gonna be bad, but it's good
bad with vampires.
Okay.
Robert Pattinson.
For me with Tenet, I have a couple questions.
Okay.
So, inverted bullets, do those require an inverted gun?
I think they do. I think they fully give them weapons, or if I'm remembering correctly, they're like a fully inverted gun.
Right, but here's the thing. In the beginning, when you learn about inverted bullets, they're just in a hunk of stone and then get drawn out by presumably a modern random gun. Because those bullets were also inverted in the present day. It's so genuinely part of my, like, in Inception, even the mind-bendy confusing parts are pretty still understandable, right? Like Inception, you may need to talk it through, but it's still pretty intuitive. I think Tenet's harder for me because not all of the questions have good answers. Also, like, okay, so he's inverted. And he's driving a car. That car isn't inverted. No, it is, though, because if he goes through the machine, then all of his experiences move. But it's so difficult because when you're inverted, anything you interact with while going backwards also acts as if inverted until you cease interacting with it, and then it is no longer inverted.
Because like the way it looks to you, the way it looks to you when you are inverted is that anything you are doing is normal, is like a normal version.
But like, but when you're inverted, basically you're going backwards through a stream.
Yeah.
And everything going forward acts normally. When you're going backward, you appear abnormal to those going forward. And anything you going backwards interacts with then appears abnormal to those going forward. Like that car, had he not driven it, would just have not ever done any inverted things because it wasn't acted upon by someone going in reverse.
Yeah.
So
I think this is where
tricky.
This is where Christopher Nolan saying that this is a thing that he and his brother came up when they were kids makes more sense. Cause like I think you have to suspend a lot of disbelief for this movie to work.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those, like, I have a lot of friends that do this. And my wife does this, where if they start watching a movie and then they don't get something, they start to question it. And then once you start questioning one thing, everything else about the movie starts to pull apart because it doesn't make sense, because that one thing doesn't make sense.
So in general, the problem is I do think it makes actual sense. I don't think it doesn't make sense. I simply think that it is not a thing that is intuitive and that's why I said when you're watching the inverted scenes, it's far more intuitive. Like when you are watching them go backward, it makes perfect sense. When you're watching them go forward is where it's harder for me to understand.
Yeah. The thing that really clicked into place for me is they say a line when he is like trying to pick up the inverted gear. And she says, you have to have dropped it in the first place.
Right.
So you kind of have to act like you're like, for anything that you're interacting with that is inverted, you have to also, it's also that. So like you're shooting the gun, you're shooting the bullets, but you've already shot the bullets because they're inverted.
Yes. Yeah. And so it is very like, and that line helps. Like he even mentions like it's a bit like instinct, like you just kind of have to roll with it a little bit. So I loved the movie, very much enjoyed it. I think I need a second watch to really appreciate it.
I think that's fair.
What I loved, and I love a time travel story. I think they're incredible, and this is one of the more unique versions of time travel. Rather than I get in a machine and I show up at a different place, I literally just live backward. And so like the implication then is that he, after all of this happens and he knows that he is the protagonist, he lives backward far enough in to get to the beginning of this stuff and start planting the seeds that he would later interact with and experience. Like it's super cool. I loved that twist. I love that they gave him and Arpats like a River Song Doctor relationship where the beginning for one is the end for the other. That's awesome. Like I genuinely think it's really cool that there's also a sacrifice to this time travel. If I want to go back 50 years, I have to live through 50 years of reverse time.
Yeah.
I get inverted and I live in reverse. So there's no crazy time travel for people, which is a really cool plot point. It's just stuff. The people that go back in time, like they had to go back a series of days. And it's also like the movie is a palindrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the temporal pincer movement is awesome. The idea that one group went in backward and then the other group goes in forward with the information of the group that went in backward. That's really cool. The whole posterity thing is awesome. The fact that the movie starts and ends on the same day.
Yeah.
Like it is all very, very good stuff. And I think the more I'm thinking about it, and I would have to rewatch it, I think this may rate higher for me than Inception.
Fair, honestly. I mean, obviously, in my opinion. I love
Because
Inception, but I like Tenet more.
Inception's good, but I think Inception gets lost in itself a good bit. Like, it slows down.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
Inception is dealing with some really good emotional plot, but that stops it from being... It's a more cerebral movie with some cool action set pieces. Tenet is an action movie with some cerebral set pieces. Like, but
Yeah.
I'm
Like-
coming out to it. I'm going to give it a 4.5 stars.
Okay.
The 5
See, that's
pending
what
on
I
a
initially
second
gave it.
watch.
Yeah. Like that was what my initial reaction was 4.5.
Right.
And then taking into the account, like the fight scenes,
Mm-hmm.
like the just the artistic value, I was like, there's no way I can't give this 5 stars. Like just the first fight scene between protagonist and inverted dude that we don't know who it is yet, is one of the coolest fight scenes I've seen in a long time.
Right. I
Yeah.
love the way that they make Arpatz's character seem like he's potentially a double agent until you start going backwards and you realize what he's actually been doing the whole time. And
He's
then
a double agent for protagonist twice.
right. Like he's and then like, oh, just the way that he's like, oh, that's our rule. Like, whose rule is that? That's our rule. And he's like, okay, yeah, man, that's our rule. And then later he's like, no, that's our rule. like he realizes the severity of it. It's very well done. I don't want to give it a 5 until I've seen it twice. I really genuinely think
Fair.
it is hard to have
Good.
a true opinion on a thing you've only witnessed once. I'm
Fair.
leaning that it will be a 5 after a second watch because, again, I don't know if I've said this here, actually. I said it for Just Super a ton. My standard for a movie's success or failure, any art at all, whether it succeeds or fails, by my metric is, did it do what it wanted to do?
Yeah.
Because all art has a different goal. And so if an art piece achieves the goal it set out for itself, I think it's 5 stars. Regardless of how I feel about it, it's successful.
Yeah.
And I think Tenet may be entirely successful. I just need to watch it again to know. I also had to turn on subtitles. I couldn't understand what anyone was saying.
Okay, here's my take. I love
Here we go.
subtitles, and I'm tired of pretending that I don't. I have subtitles on for everything. I'm watching YouTube, subtitles, movie, subtitles, anime, subtitles, and dubbed. It's not even like just sub over dub. It's dub and sub in this house, okay? That is what's going on. Okay? Because I have a hard time hearing what people say. I went into our sound system settings and turned on clear dialogue because that is a setting I have that it just like it detects what's dialogue versus what's music and just turns up the dialogue a little bit louder for me. Still can't understand them most of the time. So I got to turn on subtitles.
For me, in the sub no sub debate, I personally prefer no subtitles. If anyone ever needs them, I will not begrudge them. And I think a large part of it is most of the movies I watch are at home. And I don't have a dedicated sound system. I just have a TV in an apartment where dishwashers run and laundry machines go and people are outside. Like there is enough environmental interference. And also, movies are made assuming theater quality sound. They are made for theaters. So when it's coming out of a TV speaker, the mixing's funky. So
Yeah.
one of these days when I have like my own dream setup and I get a surround sound system, because every man's end goal in life is a surround sound system.
I've achieved it. I've
Caleb's
achieved.
living the dream. I'm not there yet. When I get there, I don't think I will need subtitles as much, but like I watched 28 Days Later the other night and I needed subtitles. So it's like I'm not opposed to them, but I prefer not.
I gotta tell y'all something, because this is a benefit of a surround sound system. So the bass, like the subwoofer, you put it close to a wall, right? So that way the wall also helps resonate the sound a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching Blazing Saddles a couple weeks ago because it's one of my favorite movies to just watch when I need to stay awake, because I still laugh so much at so many jokes in that movie. And y'all know the fart sequence, like the cowboy sitting around the fire sequence. For some reason, that sound mixing is a little more bassy than the rest of the movie. So the subwoofer goes off with every fart and you just feel the wall vibrating just the slightest amount with everything. I felt like a 12-year-old kid. I was just like giggling to myself so much. It was so good.
That's the dream. That's the dream setup.
It's so good.
And Robert Pattinson is so good in the movie Tenet.
Yes. I think as much as this is a 3.5 for me, otherwise, Robert Pattinson is a 5-star actor in this movie.
He's so good. He's good.
He's amazing.
So good.
And like going through this process of watching a lot of Robert Pattinson movies, he doesn't use his like normal British voice, like his accent,
like
all
ever.
that much.
I forget he's
And
British.
like, yeah, this was an amazing, just like, hey, you get to use your own voice. You don't have to be some crazy like New Yorker or like.
Well, one of my favorite movies he's in, we're watching later this month, Lighthouse.
Ooh.
After seeing that movie,
Fortnite.
I'm still not sure he's British. I'm not convinced.
Honestly, fair. Because I don't know if they've ever said where he's from.
No one knows.
No one knows. He acted in a London theater club, but like he doesn't have to be from London.
Right.
Do y'all want some choice letterbox reviews for Tenet?
Yes, please.
This is the most popular review. This comes from 2020. This is from 2020. 2.5 stars. From Aaron. Just Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you,
I
Aaron.
normally
It
don't
says,
say that.
hello.
That's nice.
Hello. My name is Christopher Nolan and welcome to Masterclass. Today I will be discussing how I add emotional depth to my characters. First, I add woman. Then I add child. And you're done. Thank you for watching.
He does do that a lot.
He really does.
Christopher Nolan, let's be real about this. Incredible filmmaker, incredible writer, great storyteller. He makes movies for men. He makes man time movies. And you know how you get a man to know another man is a deep guy? Make sure there's a girl or a kid in his life.
So I watched another movie with my wife recently that she had not seen, but it's one of my favorites, and it's the 2010 remake of True Grit. Have either of y'all seen that?
I've not.
Oh my, watch it. It's one of my favorites. Olivia, basically her review was, I don't know if I like that movie because that movie was made for men and I don't get some of it.
Like what? What did she not get? I'm curious.
So it is a cowboy movie.
Yeah.
Like it is a Western movie, which Westerns are made for everyone. But that one is specifically, she's like, the heroes of the movie, there's a little bit of bum fiddling. There's no real emotional wrap up.
Good.
To the movie. it just ends, and that's kind of the point, is that it's like you don't always get that emotional wrap up.
Right.
Like life just ends sometimes, and that's what you have to live with.
Yeah.
And even though some of the ways there is an emotional wrap up, because there is a little bit for some of the plot lines, she was like, it's not satisfying to see. Like, it was not a satisfying ending.
Yeah.
And she was like, I feel like men would appreciate that, because it does have a little bit more of that, like, not fully toxic masculine perspective of, like, you just got to get on with it, and that's fine. But, like, it does have a little bit of that perspective of, like, okay, sometimes it just sucks, and that's it.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because movie, like, stuff made for men versus stuff made for women can both deal with, like, lack of closure, but they do it in very different ways. Like, I feel like movies made for women tend to deal with lack of closure and more like dealing with the emotional pain of no closure.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, and I think it's cultural stuff, right? Like, men are a little less enabled in our society to feel emotion and to feel how we feel. So whenever like a man's movie has no closure and it just kind of ends and you don't get to wrap that up, I think to a point, for men, it's a little bit gratifying because it's like, yeah, I kind of resonate with that. Like, a lot of my experiences, I don't get to have a coda for. Like, I don't get to close. And is that kind of what it is? Like, it just kind of ends and you just let it be?
Do you want me to bum fiddle the ending? Or do you want me to leave it? It's not like...
Is it going to change the movie if I know?
I don't think it will.
Then go ahead.
I don't think it'll change the movie. So the very like 2-sentence plot of the movie is a girl's father is killed in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Fort Smith.
Oh, I've been there.
And she decides to take it. She's like 13, and she decides to take it into her own hands to avenge her father's death and go after the man who killed him.
Get it.
So to do that, she hires a basically retired U.S. Marshal, who in the movie is played by Jeff Bridges. His name is Rooster Cogburn.
Awesome.
And they go into what at that point is the Oklahoma Territory. It's not a state yet. It's that long ago. And they decide to try to hunt down the man who killed her father. They're joined by like a Texas Ranger for a little bit there. That's the basic plot.
Yeah.
Does it work? I won't say if that part works or not after, because that one I think you do have to see how it wraps up.
Okay, yeah.
But the end of the movie is Maddie way in the future, and she has received a letter from Rooster Cogburn, and he has gone after their stuff retired and started to travel with the Buffalo Bill Cody show.
Yeah.
And is traveling around the world, and he writes to her and says, "Hey, I'm going to be in Memphis for 3 days with this show. I'd love for you to come visit me one last time." And when she shows up, he is dead. And he's been dead for a few days, and they buried him. And that's the end of the movie. It's just, oh, you missed him.
Awesome.
Sorry.
And like, I watched that, and like, even when I watched it when I was like seeing it in theaters when I was 13, I was like, oh, life really is that way sometimes. You just don't get to everything you want to do. And Olivia watched it and she's like, that's kind of bullshit.
She said, don't approve.
I don't like that.
Hey, we women like it.
She
like
loved
it to wrap up.
everything else. Yeah. She loved everything else about it. And it's like, it's a real good movie. And I remember being very upset that Haley Steinfeld did not get any like Oscar recognition for her work in that, but
she's amazing.
So
like
good.
She's so good in Sinners.
When she was in Pitch Perfect, I really wanted to dislike her as an actress because my first introduction to her was Pitch Perfect. But everything she has done since then has told me to shut up and sit down. Like, she is just good.
Fucking Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. Speaking of Haley Steinfeld, here's another review. 1 star, which, I disagree with, but it's half the from Cobra Rocky. It says half the dialogue of Tenet is exposition. The soundtrack goes brrr, and you will forget the entire thing by the time you get home. A film by Christopher Nolan. So that made me think, you know what? A lot of that soundtrack is just brrr. So I was like, who wrote this soundtrack? Who was the composer of this film?
Also, which movie had more blah, Inception or Tenet?
Inception
Inception for
far.
sure, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Inception by far.
he's toned down the blah since then.
Because
fair. It cost too much money.
Who wrote Inception? y'all remember who wrote the Inception soundtrack?
It cost $2,000 per blah.
Who wrote the soundtrack? I do not remember.
Oh my god, that was really good. It took me a second to process what was going on.
They're
Welcome to the
expensive
party.
blahs.
The blahs are hard. They're expensive.
Why are the blahs so expensive these days? I used to get 2 blahs
this
for
economy?
a nickel. What the fuck am I supposed to
That's
do?
what it feels like right now, Cordell. This feels like an inverse economy right now.
Guys, I need to sell these blahs at I need to sell them at a loss at this point. Nobody's buying them because they're too dang expensive.
Christopher Nolan won't buy them anymore. He's done with the blahs.
He's done with the blahs, and I don't know what to do anymore, guys.
My
You
family
think
is
Odysseus
starving.
is gonna be on the ship with the big blah going on behind him? No, he needs
How many
the full
blahs do you think
time.
are gonna? How many blahs do you think are gonna be in the Odyssey? Because I feel like if we don't get, there's gonna be one big shot. No. You
There's
say
like
no
the
blahs in the
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
There's
None.
going to be one where it's going to be towards the beginning. It's going to show the ship kind of taking off into the water, and there's going to be a wave cresting across the bow of the ship, and you're going to get a blah, and you're going to be like, that costed them $5 million just for that blah alone. Hans Zimmer shitted out that blah just for them. By the
answer to
way,
your
Hans
question
Zimmer,
was
that's
Hans
who did
Zimmer
Inception.
Hans Zimmer,
So
shout
Hans
out.
Zimmer did Inception. Tenet was Ludwig Göransson, who the connection to Haley Steinfeld was the music designer and composer for Sinners, which is one of the best soundtracks of recent years. It's so good.
Truly,
It do be soundtracking. Man,
I do be tracking it.
oh wow! Eventually, we'll do a Coogler month.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
honestly.
Yeah. I feel like we need at least 2 more Coogler
We do,
movies
'cause-
before we can do a Coogler month.
Respectfully, I don't want to watch any of the Black Panther movies for Coogler month.
Yeah. I don't.
Like-
But like Marvel shouldn't be allowed here, even though they are movies.
Those are movies, that's for sure.
End of sentence.
I just think it's like, man, I can appreciate that they are good movies, but I do think I want to dodge any marbles.
Guys, I have good news. There may be no boss in the Odyssey because guess who's in charge of the soundtrack?
Blonde Zimmer.
It's Ludwig Göransson.
Ludwig.
He's back. Which honestly, seeing the way he treated like old Irish music in Sinners and made it a more modern feel at the same time, I feel like I can trust him to get down.
He can get down for sure.
Nobody named Ludwig should go that hard, but we've had multiple historical Ludwigs that do. Maybe I'm wrong about that name, and it's the hardest name possible.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Wait.
Ludwig also composed for Tenet.
Yeah.
He also composed for the Book of Boba Fett, and that was full of blahs, both in the soundtrack and
So
in the flops that was that show.
I have a new question regarding the Bois.
Mhm.
Okay.
We can all agree that Bois is the sci-fi sound. Some version of a bwah is the sci-fi sound of the modern era. And I'm not talking about like far future sci-fi. I'm talking like modern day sci-fi it's bwahs. So, what is the fantasy equivalent?
Lord of the Rings strings.
Yeah, there's something about like a hurdy-gurdy-esque, like that, like that vibe.
And you're right, but here's the question. Okay? The question that needs to be asked. What is the sound? Because synth is like synth, like techno stuff. Like there's a lot of sound, like sound for
sounds.
Like music styles, but I'm talking about a specific sound. Like the bwah is one sound that you go, oh, we're watching sci-fi. What's the fantasy one sound that tells me, oh, it's go time? It's fantasy.
We don't know.
I don't think we know. It's too big of a question.
I ask big questions, and y'all need to realize that and let me be big.
I have a
let
pivot.
You be big, Cordell. Oh.
Welcome to the Fast Junk Connections. This is bringing it back. It's a good bit. This is a spin on Junk Connections. This is Junk Connections, but actually edition.
Okay.
Because there is a very special connection between some celebrities, except you'll see. So the Koopalings in Mario's universe, right? Y'all know the Koopalings?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out there Koopalinging.
They're cool.
Like
they're
Bowser
fun.
Jr.'s brothers.
Exactly. They're like Bowser Jr.'s brothers. Did you know they are all named after celebrities? In the American.
It makes sense. Ludwig.
Ludwig van Beethoven. Lemmy Kilmister.
Roy
Orbison.
Weirdo. I don't remember what the weird crazy mohawk looking one is named.
Oh, that'd be Larry.
Classic Larry.
So
Larry David.
So here's the question.
Okay.
I'm gonna go through them. I'm gonna name them, and I'm gonna name the celebrity. One of these is wrong.
Okay.
Like there is something wrong with one. So Ludwig von Beethoven, which is why his name is Ludwig von Koopa. Fun fact. Lemmy Koopa after Lemmy Kilmister. Roy after Roy Orbison. Iggy after Iggy Pop. Wendy O. Koopa after Wendy O. Williams. Morton Koopa Jr., which is after Morton Downey Jr., who was like a magic guy in LA at the time.
Magic man.
And Larry Koopa, who was named after Larry King.
Not Iggy Pop.
I don't think it's Iggy Pop either.
Interesting. I'll say, I'll go ahead and do it. Larry is actually the odd one out. Larry is not named after Larry King. Larry is named that because, and I quote from the guy who was like in charge of translating, his name was Dave Brooks, is that Larry just kind of looks like a Larry. Awesome. That was why they named him that.
He's not
wrong.
We've
got this whole theme, but that's a Larry.
That's a Larry. Yeah. And also, Larry's traditionally the first one you see in a Mario game. Like, he's the first mini boss you usually fight. And he just kind of looks like a Larry. But
He
so
just
many
kinda looks like a
people
Larry.
at Nintendo have had to try to go back and be like, well, he's actually named after this celebrity or this celebrity. So Larry King is usually thrown out. Larry David is usually, I know, Sammy, you mentioned that one. He's usually done. Larry Mullen Jr., who's the drummer for U2, is usually thrown out as like he's named after this. None of those are true. The actual person, Dave Brooks, was like, he just looked like a Larry.
You gotta respect that. That he was like, yeah, it's just a vibe thing, really. Like, feels Larry,
it's just a
like,
vibe.
you know. And
Yeah, but like the rest of them, yeah, it was just that Dave Brooks was like, yeah, like Wendy O. Williams was the lead singer for a punk band called the Plasmatics.
the Pissmatics.
Better name.
My eyesight for small font is not great these days.
We gotta get you some carrots.
Put me
I
on
gotta
a
eat some more carrots.
Pissmatic. I need
Also,
it.
y'all know that carrots actually don't do shit for eyesight. Like that is a thing that was passed down as literal propaganda because of Holland. Okay, so the Dutch wanted to sell more carrots. Also, the Dutch are the reason that carrots are orange. They literally crossbred carrots until they got the Dutch orange color of carrot and then just started mass producing that. So that is why we think of carrots as orange. We also think of them as good for your eyes because they were like, hey, England, since we're partnering with y'all in World War II and y'all just have way better snipers, have your snipers say it's because they eat carrots and it helps their eyesight and that's why they're able to hit their shots. So then all of like Germany, Russia, everywhere else got really scared because all these English snipers were eating a bunch of carrots. And that's what must have made their eyesight be so good.
So you're telling me that one ASDF bit from that one movie where the one character goes, carrots are good for your eyes, and the other one stabs carrots in its eyes and then says, you lied to me. Even if they didn't stab the carrots in your eyes, that joke is still correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lie.
One
fuck?
incredible thing about humans that makes me so upset is everybody loves to look in the past and go, man, them humans in the past were really susceptible to propaganda.
As if we aren't right now.
Right, they're all like, those idiots got propaganda'd all the time. And then it's like, well, modern humans are getting propaganda'd left and right in every direction. Even me, myself, talking about propaganda right now, I am certain there is propaganda I fall for hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yep.
Same for me. I know there's stuff I'm falling for.
I'm
Hates
susceptible.
God, hates America, fake little girl laugh.
Oh, man. But you know what isn't propaganda and just does actually make you feel good every single time? It's our opening and closing theme song. Psychobilly Freak Out by the
that's
Reverend
true,
Horton Heat
that's
off
true.
the album Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em. Fun fact about that one. That was supposed to be a placeholder until I wrote a real theme song for the show, and then I couldn't write anything better, and guess what? It's still technically a placeholder because I'm still technically working on it.
Who could have seen that coming?
Who? Not Cordell.
Who could have known?
If you liked this episode and liked us talking about Robert Pattinson, not Jr., you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We also got a YouTube. You can give us a thumbs up on this video. Say, I liked this one. Wow.
Or put your social security number down there in the comments. That'll also be good.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
needing
keep
to
it
be a
safe,
little
I
more
promise.
social.
Yeah, there's 3 little numbers on the back of your credit card.
If you like
To talk?
emailing me non-personal information about me, do that, please. I'm so scared of these stalkers. I think things are going to get bad for me. I think they're going to find me. They're going to get me. And I don't want to get got. So
You think they're going to tickle your tummy, Cordell?
they might. You don't know.
Hey, think they're gonna poke your belly like a Pillsbury Doughboy?
Okay, for an extensive portion of my history and life, I was referred to as the Pillsbury Dough Girl. I had a shirt and it was a Pillsbury Doughboy, and it said "poke me," and people would poke me, and I'd go, but instead of being the Pillsbury Doughboy, I was getting mocked, so I was called the Pillsbury Dough Girl.
Sexier than the boy, though.
That's true. But yeah, a little bit of Cordell lore.
Well, as we say every week, I think I did find the sound.
You did?
Yeah.
You got it. You got it.